हाय एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू चैनल। ट्विटर पे मैंने मार्च में एक पोस्ट किया था, उस टाइम पे जब रशिया यूक्रेन की सिचुएशन थी और वहाँ पे उतने अच्छे ट्रेड नहीं मिल रहे थे। तब मैं जाके देखता था किसी अच्छे ट्रेडर की प्रोफाइल और मैंने ट्वीट भी की थी। और मेरी आदत है, मैं अगर मुझे किसी की प्रोफाइल अच्छी लगे तो मैं जाके देख के आता हूँ, उनसे कुछ सीखने को ज़रूर मिलता है। और आप भी ये ट्राई कर सकते हैं, किसी की भी प्रोफाइल हो अगर आपको अच्छी लगे तो आप जाके देखिए और कुछ ट्रेडिंग के रिलेटेड और नॉन ट्रेडिंग चीज़ भी आप सीख पाएंगे। तो यहाँ पे मैंने बताया था कि मैं जो भी मेरी लर्निंग होगी वो मैं आपके साथ शेयर करूँगा। और लकीली हुआ ऐसा कि उसके बाद मेरी बात आज के जो हमारे गेस्ट है उनसे हुई, एंड ही वॉज काइंड इनफ कि उन्होंने बताया कि वो आएंगे और बताएंगे कि वो कैसे ट्रेड करते हैं। तो नो सरप्राइज, उनका नाम है मनस अरोरा। और मैंने कैसे उनकी स्टडी की थी वो मैं आपके साथ शेयर ज़रूर करूंगा, बिकॉज आपको भी पता चले कि कैसे आप कर सकते हैं। मैंने एक फोल्डर बना के रखा है और आप अगर यहाँ पे जाके देखेंगे तो अगर हम पिक कर ले, यहाँ पे मैंने दिखाया RIL लॉजिक, ट्रेड लॉजिक। तो हम जाके यहाँ पे देखेंगे कि क्या लॉजिक से उनने रिलायंस इंफ्रा का ट्रेड किया था। राइजिंग 20 MA, नैरो प्रीवियस डे, क्लीन चार्ट। तो इस वजह से उन्होंने RIL में ट्रेड लिया है। और अगर आप इसको देखें तो ऑलरेडी ये टिप उन्होंने पहले ऑलरेडी शेयर की है। अगर मैं ये दिखाऊं कि बिल्कुल यही टिप उन्होंने ब्रेकआउट के लिए टिप दी थी, राइजिंग 20 MA ऑन डेली, एंट्री अबव इट, नैरो प्रीवियस डे। तो बिल्कुल वही रीजन से उनकी एंट्री हुई है रिलायंस इंफ्रा में। तो इस तरीके से अब एक और ट्रेड जाके देखते हैं। अभी आप देखिए मिर्जा। सो मिर्जा में बिल्कुल वही सेटअप, अगर आप देखेंगे तो सेटअप हमेशा सेम रहते हैं, अलोकेशन कम या ज़्यादा होता रहता है। कोई और ट्रेड जाके देखते हैं, कोई और ट्वीट जाके समझते हैं। उससे पहले मैं आपको बता दूं, देखिए मैंने यहाँ पे उनकी जो रिस्क रिलेटेड ट्वीट है, साइज रिलेटेड ट्वीट्स है, रिवर्सल के जो भी ट्रेड है वो भी मैंने इस तरीके से सेव किए। और एक यहाँ पे एक देखते हैं कि भाई कैसे वो प्रिपेयर करते हैं। अगर आप अच्छे ट्रेडर से कुछ सीखेंगे तो बिल्कुल आपके काम आएगा। हाउ आई प्रिपेयर फॉर व्हाट टू ट्रेड, तो उन्होंने ऑलरेडी बताया कि वो कैसे प्रिपेयर करते हैं। तो मैं शायद ट्राई करूंगा कि मैं ये सारे ट्वीट्स का भी एक वीडियो बना के शेयर करूं। लेकिन इस तरीके से आप किसी की प्रोफाइल देख के समझ के अपना ट्रेडिंग इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं। सेशन स्टार्ट करने से पहले आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट होगी कि अभी तक अगर आपने जो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो आप प्लीज़ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए। इस तरीके से अगर आप चाहते हैं कि मैं ऐसे ट्रेडर्स को इनवाइट करता रहूँ, ऐसे वीडियो शेयर करता रहूँ, तो प्लीज़ आप भी अपनी तरफ से एक सपोर्ट करिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए। और आगे आपका ज़्यादा टाइम ना वेस्ट करते हुए हम सेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं। गुड इवनिंग मनस भाई, एंड thanks a lot for giving your time.
Yeah, hi Ankur. It is an honor here to speak uh, about what I do. So let me know what exactly you want me to start with so that I can share trades and
It's basically two patterns you trade mostly. One is continuation and one is
Mhm.
reversal.
Yeah, there are only see the stock can only do two things. It can either continue the trend, like if this is a chart, right? Can you see the screen?
Yes, yes.
All right. So this is it can either continue in the direction of the primary trend, and then there will be at some point where the trend will peak and then uh, it will reverse like like this is a trend change, a trend reversal. Similarly here it was in a downtrend and then the trend reverse. So there is nothing, there is the stock can only do these two things. It can either continue in the direction of the previous trend, or there will be some point where the trend will weaken and it will shift the trend to the opposite direction. So what we do is what I do is basically, if you see all these names, like for example, if you want me to cover any particular trade that you've seen, that I can probably show that. The most famous BAC trade recent last year that I had. One second. Yeah, so I think I bought BSE here. Yeah, this is. So before I explain why I bought BSE, the main point I would like to highlight is that when I'm trading a continuation setup, I am looking for stocks which are uh, in a in an uptrend. Like for example, I I don't need to plot this line because I've been doing this for years, and I without the line also I can just say that it's an uptrend. But some of you, if you're starting out, this line or 20 moving average can help you identify if a stock is in uptrend. So clearly you see the line is sloping up. It's an uptrend. And then if you zoom in on the this part here, the price BSE went through correction. It went below 20 MA. And for me, this is important because without this correction, we know that this market is made of different type of personalities. There are some who are long term investors, and then there are some who can hold medium term. Then there are some who are holding only for weeks. Some are holding for few days, and there are some who are only holding for few hours to maybe few minutes. So for me, people who are holding just for few hours and few minutes, I know that these guys are going to sell on every rise because they will lock profit and they will book money, right?
Yeah.
So if these guys are involved in the trade and they are large in numbers, then every time the stock will go up, it will face hurdles in going up. So when this correction happens, people who are weak holders, they get out because अगर कोई probably let's say 1 घंटे के लिए ले रहा है, या if someone is bought on margin from on loan or intraday whatever MIS through Zerodha, so these guys don't have the money to hold for days, and especially if they are in losses and वो loss बढ़ता ही जाएगा, so there will be a point where their patience will run out, the weakest hands will get out. So अब for me, if I am someone who's looking for a situation where weak hands are out, which means next time जब भी stock ऊपर जाएगा, it will face less hurdles in going up. Why? Because now the weak hands are less in numbers as compared to they were when. आप मुझे बताओ जब when stock is going up like this, everything is good. सबको किसी को कोई problem नहीं है. But जब जैसे ही नीचे आने start हो जाता है, this is when all the plans that you have कि मैं इसको hold करूंगा, बैठूंगा, लंबा बैठूंगा, whatever targets you have, वो सब बाहर हो जाते हैं दिमाग से जब when the stock starts falling down, especially when it goes down for 5, 6, 7 days in a row, because there, especially on the 5th or 7th day, your 6th day, maybe your patience is out already, and you start selling off कि अब और नहीं हो रहा, अब और नहीं देखा जा रहा है, and things like that. So when this happens, I know this correction is important. Without this correction, no stock can ever go up. Like if you see on the journey from this to this, हर थोड़े दिन में ऐसा correction आता है.
Yeah.
So this correction is healthy for the stock to go up, because there is not unlimited money in this world. If stock is going up, मतलब पैसा invest हो रहा है, अगर वो correction नहीं आएगी तो पैसा निकलेगा नहीं. It cannot just, I mean, there cannot be an unlimited investment, and the stock cannot just keep going up without these corrections. So these corrections are required for the next leg up. So when this happened, what I इसके बाद, if you see, the stock went below 20 MA, then came back up, and then for 4-5 days formed a very very narrow range. All right.
Yeah.
उसके बाद it broke out of this range, and then for 2 more days it found another 3 days of narrow action. When I say narrow, all I am trying to say is, if you see the size of these bars, these are very very big compared to these bars, right?
Yeah.
So Now, what it means is that activity is not as wild as it used to be. Now it is a very tight action between buyers and sellers, basically very dull action. So what this is exactly what I look for. I look for a tight, narrow range area in a stock which is in a very uptrend where a recent correction has just happened. इसके बाद for it went into another if I just highlight this one, these 2 days were again very narrow range, right? These two red days, sorry. So now this is the kind of setup I want in my if you study my trades, all my trades are available on Twitter. Most of my successful setups, they look exactly like this. I can even show you more examples here. So basically the setup is 20 MA rising, price a good rise. Some people now get into bad examples also, and I'll show you bad examples. This one is the best textbook example where there is a clear rising trend, and then the if you also want to see the buying force here is in the last 3-4 months it is 44% up, so good buying force also. Then there is a correction, then the price starts coming up slowly, very slowly, and then forms two narrow range days. And when you see this, you select this setup for the next day. You're not buying it the first thing in the morning, you are just selecting it for the next day. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's say I have selected it, मैंने इसको select कर लिया for tomorrow. What is that trigger that I will buy this stock? Usually what most of the textbooks on technical analysis, or if you see YouTube videos, especially even I saw these when I entered markets, initially हमको क्या बोलते हैं कि आपको ये highest point है तो इसको ऊपर लेना है.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So which means that your buying will get triggered at 492.65. Okay.
Yes.
Now that point is somewhere around 4.5% away. Or agar, if you've been following me on Twitter regularly, I have tweeted this several times, even that if you are swing trading, so okay, before I forgot that ये सब मैं इसलिए कर रहा हूँ because I am a swing trader. Like I take only swing trades. I'm not an investor. I'm not holding trades for months and years, or I'm not an intraday person. People keep saying that you are doing intraday. Yes. Intraday and swing are very different thing. Intraday is when you take the trade with the intention of closing the same day. I am not taking the trades with the intention of closing the same day. I buy them. If they act well, I hold them. If they don't act well, I can close in the next 5 minutes also. So you can call it whatever, but I'm not doing intraday. So मैं स्विंग ट्रेडिंग कर रहा हूँ. आप स्विंग ट्रेडिंग में क्या लिमिटेशन है? हर ट्रेडिंग की एक लिमिटेशन है. फॉर एग्जांपल लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट की लिमिटेशन ये है दैट इट विल नॉट गिव यू रिजल्ट्स ओवरनाइट. यू विल हैव टू वेट फॉर 2, 4, 5 years. एडवांटेज ये है कि यू कैन मेक बिग मनी, large sums of money, but you'll have to wait for 5 years for that kind of money, and also you have to be very right in selecting your setups, right? Similarly, intraday का भी limit है that you have to close your trades before the end of the day. But upside limit ये है कि आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा intraday में 2-4% की move catch कर सकते हो on an average basis. There will be some lucky day where you can catch a 10% move, 15% also. But if you've done intraday, you know that you cannot. The upside is very limited, and you'll have to be on the screen all the time. तो अब वो कितनों के लिए possible है? I don't know. Swing trading का major advantage ये है कि you can make more money at less effort without being on the screen. But उसका limitation ये है कि if you study swings, the maximum that you can make, the stock moves before it starts going into correction is this much. If you study this, ये कितना है? 46%।
46%,
ठीक है, ये कितना है?
अराउंड 19%।
19%। ठीक है, ये यहां तक गया, ये कितना है?
25,
ये कितना है?
26।
तो हर बार ऑन एन एवरेज लेट्स से 20% है। ठीक है, सो आफ्टर एवरी 20% देयर इज अ करेक्शन, समटाइम्स टाइम करेक्शन। जैसे यहाँ पर है 4 दिन तक स्टॉक प्राइस तो वही रहा, बट 4 दिन तक हिला नहीं। इस इधर प्राइस करेक्शन है, काफी नीचे आ गया स्टॉक, देख रहे हो?
यस।
सो इतना मुझे पता है दैट आफ्टर एवरी 20-25% मूव देयर विल बी अ करेक्शन, अ पॉज। it can either be a price correction or it can be a time correction or maybe both. तो अब मेरे को ये पता है कि अगर मैं 20% is my upside limit on an average, at times you can get 30-40 also, but let's say अगर हम 20% is my average limit, तो अगर मैं 5%, अगर मैं इस ट्रेड को पुराने जो हमने टेक्स्ट बुक्स में पढ़ा है दैट यू बाय ओनली अबव that you buy only above 492, और अभी मैंने दिखाया that 492 is
4.79% away,
so it's 4% away. तो
Yeah.
20 में से 4 तो मेरा अभी चला गया,
already gone. Yes.
ठीक है। और अगेन मुझे एक परफेक्ट 492 पे मिले, ये भी कोई गारंटी नहीं हो सकता 494 495 पे जाकर मिले, तो मे बी थोड़ा सा और चला जाएगा। सो बेसिकली इस 20% की गेम में से 4-5% तो मेरा ऐसे ही चला गया।
Yes.
अब ये 4-5% कैन बिकम रियली सीरियस मनी इफ यू आर ट्रेडिंग विद स्टॉक्स दैट आई ट्रेड। आपने देखा है दैट इफ यू आई ट्रेड विद 1 or 2% स्टॉक्स, अगर मैं 1 or 2% से ले रहा हूँ, अगर 4% जाने के बाद एंट्री लूंगा, तो मेरी वो मैच नहीं आएगी या वो रिटर्न नहीं आएगा जो मैं जैसे मैं आप बताने जा रहा हूँ। अगर ऐसे लूंगा तो आई कैन मेक मोर मनी एंड आई कैन प्रॉब्ली एंटर अर्ली ऑल्सो बिफोर मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल विल एंटर, बिकॉज ये ऑब्वियस एंट्री पॉइंट, ये सबको पता है, ये सबने पढ़ा है, हमने भी पढ़ा है, मैंने भी ऐसे शुरू में पढ़ा था। फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये भी एक ऑब्वियस एंट्री पॉइंट था पहले, देखो उसको ट्रिगर करते ही स्टॉक 6 दिन नीचे आ गया। तो अब now coming back to my point that BSE is the setup that I really like. Now it is 2 narrow range days and the volume is also obviously has reduced. If the volume is high and the days are narrow, so yeah, it's not a right, I mean there is something mismatch. If the action is dry, the whole day range is dry but volume is high, तो वो अपने को नहीं चाहिए। We need, अगर day narrow है तो volume should also reduce. So this is a perfect setup that I wanted. So I selected it. Now my trigger is, which I have tweeted also.
Strong start is new.
If you, yeah. So what I am trying to say is कि अब अगर ये कल my tweet was that strong start is the new breakout. So पहले हमें पता था breakout is this, you buy above 492. But for me, और मुझे, I need to ask you one thing, that if you buy above 492, do you have is there a guarantee that you'll make money?
No.
On buying above this also there is no guarantee
No
that you will
guarantee.
make money.
Yes.
ठीक है, गारंटी वहां भी नहीं है, गारंटी यहाँ भी नहीं है। तो अगर दोनों जगह गारंटी नहीं है तो मैं 5% महंगा लेके क्यों करूंगा? और वो एक बड़ा ऑब्वियस पॉइंट भी है, वहां पर जरूर ऑलरेडी बहुत सारे बाय ऑर्डर्स लगे होंगे, और स्पेशली आज की मार्केट में वेयर कैंडिडेट्स आर वेरी लेस, you are tracking the same stock, I am tracking the same stock, so which is what you also said, order fill नहीं होता, ठीक है। तो अब what I look for is strong start. So if tomorrow it starts strong, I will enter at market price, whatever that price is. I mean sorry, not whatever, it has to be within a certain range. अगर वो ज्यादा ही let's say 10% gap up खुल गया तो मैं नहीं लूंगा। why? बिकॉज अगर मेरी अपसाइड इज 20% और गैप अप हो गया 7-8% का, तो फिर वही वाली बात आ गई दैट मैथ्स बिगड़ गया बीच में जाके, If I'm entering into the middle of the move, then the whole maths is gone. So I need a strong start, but not very, very expensive start. Then the whole setup is waste. So what is a strong start? I'll show you. If you see, what is the closing of this day?
472, 145.
And what is the opening of this day?
478. A gap up opening.
So there is a clear gap up opening.
Yes.
Now we again गैप, जब भी गैप अप बोलते हैं तो हमको ये समझ आता है कि गैप अप इज जैसे ये है गैप,
बिग गैप अप,
ये क्लियर गैप है, ये क्लियर गैप, ये हमने पढ़ा है, दिस इज व्हाट वी नो. बट अगर क्या ये गैप अप नहीं है जो मैंने अभी दिखाया?
यस,
देयर इज अ क्लियर गैप ऑफ 6 पॉइंट्स फ्रॉम प्रीवियस क्लोजिंग, so it means there is a strong buying. Whatever, why am I comparing with closing? Because closing price is the price which is finally agreed between buyers and sellers, और उस पे स्टॉक बंद हुआ उस दिन के लिए. ठीक है?
यस,
अग्री?
यस.
अब next day it opened at 478, and note the main point, it never went below that price. So the buying force was so strong, sellers जितने भी थे कल, they are nowhere in the picture anymore. There is a clear gap of 6 points, and then the stock never looked back and started going higher. देख रहे हो, open and low same है.
Yes, yes, open is equal to low.
So it's a very, very bullish behavior. This is a very, very strong start behavior. So this is what I look for. If there is a strong start, now how do you know that strong start है? तो उसके लिए आपको पहले एटलीस्ट 3-4 मिनट 2 मिनट वेट करना पड़ेगा मार्केट खुलने के बाद. You cannot know the strong start right at 9:15. 9:15 पे तो नहीं पता चलेगा कि ये 10 सेकंड की वेट करके भी नहीं पता चलेगा. एटलीस्ट आपको 3-4 मिनट उसका लो मेंटेन तो रहे, तभी तो पता चलेगा कि वो लो रिस्पेक्ट कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है. अगर जल्दी एंटर करोगे, sometimes the low will not stay, and sometimes it can work also, but you have to have a rule ki I am going to wait for 3-4 minutes or something like that, and then whatever falls in that rule in your system, you take the trade. So इस ट्रेड में क्या हुआ, that it was open and low same, and there was a clear gap up opening, strong start, so I bought it. ये तब I think 1460 का स्टॉक था, ये स्प्लिट हुआ है अभी.
Yes, yes.
तो इसके लिए आपको ये प्राइस ये दिखा रहा है, बट अगर मेरे अकाउंट में इसको ढूंढोगे तो 1460 पे लिया था, which was I think the high of somewhere here. So I bought it at market around 918 or 916 something, and my so I entered. I was not, क्योंकि ये सेटअप रेडी था. अगर आप देखो, मैं 3 दिन से दिखा रहा हूँ, strong uptrend, correction has happened, now prices come back up and then goes sideways around that line, just around that line, and then gives you 2 very, very narrow range days.
Yeah.
अगले दिन आपको ये पूछेगा कि यहाँ क्यों नहीं लिया, यहाँ क्यों नहीं लिया, क्योंकि इनमें उतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टार्ट नहीं थी. इस दिन है, इस दिन भी गैप अप है, इस दिन बंदी थी, एंट्री लेनी भी चाहिए थी, बट वो उतना अच्छा रिजल्ट देके नहीं गई. तो मे बी क्लोजिंग टाइम पे around 3 p.m. I would have closed it. Exactly. But then the setup is still valid, right? So next 3-4 days the setup is still valid. इस दिन finally दोबारा एंट्री दी, जैसे आज अदानी एंटरप्राइज ने सेकंड टाइम एंट्री दी, इसने फिर से एंट्री दी, और you buy at above after like waiting for 2-3 minutes, you just buy at whatever market price is and you're in the trade. तो मैंने ये ट्रेड लिया उस हिसाब से. अब गेम आती है सारी की सारी, कितना लेना है. The difference between a great trader and a good trader is the sizing. अब 47 मैंने जितना 1460 पे जब लिया था इसको, किसी ने शायद अपना 10% एलोकेशन किया होगा, किसी ने 50% एलोकेशन किया होगा. अच्छा, जब मैं बोलूं कितना लेना है का मेरा मतलब ये नहीं है that you buy आप 10,000 का ले रहे हो, 10 lakhs का ले रहे हो, 1 crore का ले रहे हो. My point is how much are you allocating out of your portfolio. If your portfolio is even 1 lakh, you can grow faster if your allocation is very high in every trade. अगर आप 1 लाख के ट्रेड, अगर 1 लाख का पोर्टफोलियो भी है, उसमें 50% एलोकेशन दे रहे हो ट्रेड में, और आपका सेटअप सिलेक्शन, ऑब्वियसली before you allocate 50%, you need to be really good at setup selection. If your setup selection is good, you can grow your small account very fast, if your allocation is very high.
Yes.
अब next थिंग इज, अगर आप एलोकेशन बढ़ाते हो तो आपका रिस्क बढ़ जाता है. आपने आपने अगर 50% एलोकेशन कर दिया, बट योर स्टॉप लॉस इज 10% अवे, then you are risking a lot of money of your portfolio. And into if you like, अगर 2-3 ट्रेड का भी स्टॉप लॉस हो गया इस तरीके से, तो लॉट ऑफ मनी विल गो एंड देन यू बी वेरी वेरी demotivated and you might even think of leaving this profession. So ऐसा क्या करे कि एलोकेशन भी बढ़ जाए और ज्यादा रिस्क भी ना हो पोर्टफोलियो पे? उसका सिंपल सा आंसर है that you keep a very very tight stop loss. Now when I place stop losses, there is no rocket science there. I'm not looking at a chart or something. मेरा है 1% 2% रेंज दे दिया, like, or maybe you can even have a low of the day. अब इस दिन का लो था 477.80. now some will say अरे ये तो बहुत पास है, ये तो हिट हो जाएगा. But you also know it.
Yes.
Before you started trading tight stop, even you used to think that tight stops तो बहुत ट्रिगर होंगे. Of course, कोई अगर 8% के साथ ट्रेड कर रहा है तो ज्यादा ट्रिगर होंगे. But when you get a hit, when you get a successful trade, it pays for all the small losers and gives you a good amount of money that you can now I mean that profit you can use to finance your next trades, and you've seen it. तो इस
Yes.
ट्रेड में क्या हुआ, मैंने 1460 पे लिया था, आई रिमेम्बर, एंड माय स्टॉप वाज 1453, द लो ऑफ द डे. अगर अभी इसकी बात करूं तो लेट्स से 480 पे लिया आपने और स्टॉप लॉस दे दिया 477.80, which is not even 1% technically, not even 1%. And I remember my stop loss was only 0.5% in BSC when I took the trade. अब 0.5% के साथ अगर आप जा रहे हो, अगर तो आपका हिट स्टॉप लॉस हिट हुआ. Okay, so I was saying that I went in. So I took this trade with a 0.5% stop. Ab I'm not going to paint a rosy picture कि अरे you'll make a lot of money, but let's say this trade hits the stop. तो आपका कितना जाएगा? You already know that let's say 1,000 rupees का रिस्क उठाया तो point stop loss हिट होती 1,000 जाएगा.
Yes.
But if the stock goes just 10% higher, which means how many times are you going to make if you compare it with your stop loss?
10 times. If you
What
take
is the
1% risk, then if you make
no
10%,
मैंने इसको 0.5 से लिया, 10% गया, तो I am going to make 20 times
20%,
of my
yes.
risk.
Yes.
All right, so
Okay.
we all, जैसे हमने बुक्स में पढ़ा है that this is the breakout point, यहाँ लेना चाहिए, उन्हीं बुक्स में ये भी लिखा है that you need to have a ratio of 1:3.
Yes.
Agreed?
Yes.
But 1:3 is ठीक है, you can be profitable, but you know with 1:3 there is only one situation where you can make a lot of money in 1:3, where your allocation is very 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 high. बिना allocation के आप 1:3 में सिर्फ hand to mouth रहोगे, you will make decent money, maybe not even as good as what mutual funds can give you. So if you are really getting into this business and taking the headache of going through trades and all that, so 1:3 is not really going to like grow your small account fast. First, I'm talking especially for small account holders. If you really need to grow your account fast, you cannot do it with 1:3. So there has to be something where your 1:10 becomes 1:3. मतलब 1:10 इतना normally होना चाहिए जितना 1:3 हमने पढ़ा है. तो अब इस ट्रेड में exactly वही हुआ. In the next 3 days, where is this trade? From 480, it is 8% up. वो भी क्लोजिंग बेसिस पे. अगर मैं टॉप की बात करूं तो इट्स 10% up.
10%.
एग्जैक्टली सिर्फ इतनी सी मूव, जो कोई खास मूव नहीं है. अगर बार्स को देखो, वेरी वेरी नॉर्मल स्मॉल डिसेंट साइज बार्स. In 3 days, the stock is 10% up. What is the R potential? It is 20 times your risk gain
Yes.
in only 3 days. तो अगर आपका 1,000 रुपए का रिस्क था, सिर्फ 1,000 रुपए का रिस्क था, this trade could have given you up to 20,000. Why am I using up to 20,000? Because I'm not selling at the top. I'm selling some on the way up, and then so which is why I'm telling you the real picture कि up to 20,000 तक का potential इस trade में था. लेट्स से यू सेटल्ड ऑन विद 10, इसमें हर स्टेप पे बेचा आपने थोड़ा थोड़ा करके, तब भी इसमें 7 to 10 आर इजीली इस ट्रेड में आया था, विच इज 7 to 8 times or 10 times your initial risk. Now, if the trade turns into a monster, which it did, यहाँ तक 13% आ गया था, which is 28 times your risk gain. Sorry, 26 times your risk gain. So this is the potential of trading setups with a very, very small stop. Small stop lets you allocate more. One second, I can show you what I have already shared also this quantity calculator tool on the view tool recently.
Yes.
One second, let me show you. Yeah, so this is the tool. Like for example, आपका 1 लाख का अकाउंट है, आप 100 पे ट्रेड ले रहे हो, उसका स्टॉप 90 दे रहे हो, तो 0.5% रिस्क उठाओगे तो आपकी एलोकेशन कितनी आ रही है? 4800 rupees, which is how much?
48 shares.
Which is no 48 shares, but how much allocation? It is 4.8%
4.8%
of your total.
account, yes.
ठीक है, अब यही ट्रेड मैं 99 के स्टॉप से लेता हूँ, आई एम स्टिल रिस्किंग 0.5, मतलब नुकसान मेरा उतना ही होगा,
yes.
लेकिन मेरी एलोकेशन 4.8 से 34% हो गई,
Yes.
34,392. तो
Yes.
अगर ये ट्रेड स्टॉप लॉस हिट कर गई दोनों की दोनों, आई विल स्टिल लूज 0.5 ऑफ माई अकाउंट. बट अगर ये ट्रेड चल गई तो फर्स्ट केस में मैं 48 शेयर के अकॉर्डिंग कमाऊंगा, बट सेकंड केस में अगर ट्रेड चल गई तो मैं 344 शेयर्स के हिसाब से आई विल मेक माई.
Yes.
So getting my point. So
Yes.
without, if you're a small account person and you need to grow your account very fast, this is one way where you can, with tight stops, you can increase your allocation without increasing the risk on your account, and you can grow your account faster. But all this obviously is possible because you're taking a very small stop, which means the room of error is very less. You cannot make errors क्योंकि स्कोप ऑफ एरर जो स्टॉप लॉस है ज्यादा दूर नहीं है, बहुत पास है. तो यू नीड टू बी वेरी गुड एट सेटअप सिलेक्शन, यू नीड टू बी वेरी वेरी गुड एट दैट. और
Yes.
वहां पहुंचने के लिए क्या लगेगा? प्रैक्टिस. You cannot be good at setup selection without taking trades. So basically, ये चक्कर है that you need to. If you wanted me to give an advice here, the advice here is to reach a level where you can take great setups with small stops. You need to practice a lot, and उस practice zone में phase में forget about making money because you will not make money in that practice phase. Take trades just to get better at setup selection, and trade very very negligible amount of like small size trades, so that जो भी गलतियां होंगी, जो होंगी 100% होंगी, you can at least take those hits and not blow up your account. Otherwise, अगर वो practice phase ही में ही अगर dead हो गए, तो how will you even reach the stage where it will start finally paying you money like it does when I take the trade?
Yes.
So this is the how I bought BSC. Any other trade you want me to show?
You can discuss any reversal trade.
एक और कंटिन्यूएशन दिखा देता हूँ, ये भी लास्ट ईयर का काफी अच्छा ट्रेड था, where I had a good allocation. Like for again, this is, you have huge rising uptrend. Buying force is also very strong, 57%, and then it goes through correction. Like all these 4-5 days are weak hands are getting out, and then this is a very tight closing day. Now this is not as narrow as BSC example, but अगर मैं सिर्फ इस एक दिन की वजह से क्या मैं पूरे सेटअप को इग्नोर कर दूं?
No.
Is it a good decision? I mean, a sensible decision. The setup is great.
Yes.
It's still a very narrow range action day. So I selected the setup, and the volumes have also dried. If you see, volumes have also dried in the last 3 days. I selected the setup for the next day. In the next morning, I just needed a very strong start. अब बता दो इसमें, can you see the gap?
Yes.
Usually the gap यहाँ if the opening is here, then we all know that ये gap up है. जैसे
Yes.
ये, this is a clear gap up.
Yes.
But ये भी तो gap up ही है.
Yes.
The closing is 85 and the opening is 87. There is a clear gap of 2 points. And then the price, the low of the day never even entered previous day closing area, the body of the whole day. So that's a very bullish price action. That's a very strong start. It's and you can also say the open and lows are almost the same. Agar is din ka dekho, open is 87, low is 86.60. So it's almost the same. If not leeway, you should be flexible with it. But yes, it is not even entering the previous day body area. And then the price just took off. And after waiting for 3-4 minutes, you just buy it and don't wait for any. Again, if you follow the books, where is the buying point? This is the buying point,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is 10% of it. अब ये तो उससे भी ज्यादा expensive deal है,
Yeah.
BSC example से. और where am I buying? I am buying maybe let's say here. तो कितना expensive हुआ कल के closing के हिसाब से? Only 3%.
3%.
और वो था 10%. अब उसका क्या रिजल्ट आया? अच्छा, मैं मैथ्स इसमें भी दिखा देता हूँ. In the next 3 days, the stock went up 28%. 28%. अब अगर इसको ये स्मॉल डिजिट लाइक 2 डिजिट स्टॉक है, इसमें 0.5% नहीं करेगा काम. उसका रीजन भी मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है कई बार ट्विटर पे. इसमें एटलीस्ट लेट्स से 2-3% का स्टॉप लिया, 1% का नहीं लिया, 2-3% का स्टॉप लिया, या लो ऑफ द डे ले लिया. इसमें लो ऑफ द डे इज दिस, which is 1.5 points.
Yes.
1.5 points. अब यहाँ से कैलकुलेट कर लो. This is 113. 113 minus 88 is 16 times your risk in only 3 days. Again 1000 का रिस्क उठाया, 16,000, 16 times, up to 16 times in only 3 days. So how are you're growing your account fast like this? Yes. But yes, there will be losers also. Obviously, there will be more losers than winners. Every successful trading system has more losers. But still, we make money because जब winner मिलता है, we encash it like this. एक ही बार में 16 times, 20 times. अभी कल मैंने पेटीएम, इसी वीक पेटीएम लिया. I bought Paytm. Look at this. Is this a strong start or no?
Yes.
Open and low the same. There is a gap up opening. The setup is exactly like rising 20 MA. Price goes down.
And higher low as well. Eh?
Comes back up. Wait, higher low. Comes back up. And then gives a very narrow range day here on this day. And next morning, I selected on my watch list. I just needed a strong start, and it gave a strong start. I bought it with 1% stop at 623.
Yes, and you can see on Twitter it started trending at 662, like you said.
Because
line.
देखो,
662.
Exactly.
Yes.
ये line है. Around ये line पे mostly buy
I think under one जो नीचे है ना, नीचे वहां से शुरू हुआ था. Yes, at that line.
चलो ये ले लो.
Yes.
I entered at 623.
Yes.
With 1% stop. 623. मैंने और जल्दी लिया. मैंने second entry 640 पे इस दिन ली थी. मेरी first entry was here. First entry was little advanced tricks which I cannot cover everything in this short video. But अगर मैं second entry से भी calculate करूँ, my second entry was 640. Here. तो भी आज भी मेरे पास पड़ा हुआ है, मेरे पास लास्ट 20-25% पड़ा है, तो भी 1% स्टॉप के साथ 13 टाइम्स हो रहा है. और कोई अगर यहाँ ले रहा है तो उसका 9 टाइम्स हो रहा है. तो ये डिफरेंस देख रहे हो.
yes,
और जिन्होंने यहाँ लिया है 662 पे, ऑब्वियसली उन्होंने 1% स्टॉक के साथ नहीं लिया होगा, बिकॉज दे डोंट इवन नो दिस
yes,
मैथ, सो दे आर बाइंग विद नो स्टॉक्स और मे बी वाइडर स्टॉक्स, तो उनका शायद 9 टाइम्स भी नहीं है, उनका मे बी 1 टाइम ही हुआ होगा, जितना रिस्क उठाया उतना ही अभी आ रहा होगा इतनी सी मूव, बट इस पूरे मूव में with the same logic, using this, the difference is, I'll tell you the difference between what I'm doing and what majority are doing is, my stops are less, and I'm not waiting for a box breakout or a rectangle breakout or a triangle breakout. I look for strong start. If there is a clear strong start, I go for it before the obvious breakouts will happen. अब एक obvious breakout का example है, ये ऑब्वियस ब्रेकआउट था, सबने यहाँ बिड लगाया होगा,
yes.
इसके ऊपर क्या हुआ नेक्स्ट डे,
This
यू
is
स्टार्टेड विद लॉस.
exactly what you explained कि 20% एवरेज मूव होगा, लास्ट 3 days ऑलरेडी देयर इज मूव ऑलरेडी वहां पे आ चुका
वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, जब मूव आता है तो 20% 25% के बाद करेक्शन आता है. अब जो यहाँ एंटर कर रहे हैं इस लाइन पे 94 पे, they are ignoring that the last 3 days the stock has already done 20-25%.
Yeah.
It will go through a resting phase. अब वो लेट, उनको ये नहीं पता, तो वो रेस्टिंग फेज में जाते, बिकॉज दे एंटर्ड हियर, इमीडिएटली they started with a loss, and now the stock settled down again, and बाद में दोबारा एंट्री मिलेगी उसमें.
Yes.
ये एक और स्टॉक ने किया था, ये पूरे ग्रुप ने आई थिंक इकट्ठे ही किया था, या दिस सी already drawn also. This is the obvious buying point. You entered here, this one gave intraday a lot of money, but where is the stock now? In people who are buying here are ignoring that the stock was already been running from the last 6-7 days, 4-5 days, and it's already 38% up. So you are entering at the fag end of the swing. You are entering after 38% move and expecting another 38% move. Is this normal? You study charts, you don't get 30, 60, 70% moves in one go. Stock goes एक बार में 20-30% एवरेज आता है, उसके बाद it usually goes through correction. So your objective should be to get into the trade after a correction in the first 2-3% of the move, and then enjoy the rest of the 20-30% move. ये चीज अगर याद रखोगे, you can create a lot of trading strategies for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are the continuation setups, and the other one is a reversal, which is, I can explain it, but in all honesty, it's reversals are great only when there is an extreme sell-off is going on. जैसे अभी पीछे था, पिछले 3-4 months में we have got extreme sell-off days where a lot of stocks, 500 stocks are down in one day. Those days are perfect for
when there is extreme numbers on your market bid sheet.
Exactly. On the market spread sheet where you have 600 stocks down, 700 stocks down, those are the days after, I mean, the next day you should play reversals. In between, ज़्यादा reversals say, and also reversals require screen time, a lot of screen time. So if you are someone who does not have screen time, or someone who's doing a day job, so reversals will not even suit you, because they do require screen time. But I can explain you one reversal trade, which if you spot in the morning 10-15 minutes, you can add this to your this trick to your like trading system. But if you do not get this in the first half an hour or first 15 minutes, then maybe you should just not practice reversals, because otherwise job chhod ke agar if you can do it, then it makes sense. If you're a full-time person, then it makes sense. So I took this Paytm trade. This was the day, I think. Yes, this was the day. So the idea behind is, if you study, you just open daily chart of any stock, and you start counting the number of green days and number of red days, and and you will find a typical pattern, which is when a stock moves, how many days it goes up in a row
3 days.
and how many
Yeah.
days it goes down in a row. Like this is 1, 2, 3, 3 bars. ये एग्जांपल में अब नहीं है ज्यादा because Paytm has been going down only.
Yeah.
कोई और एग्जांपल before I come back to this, let me just show this on some other name. Let's say Tata Steel. So it's how many? It's 5 days, 2 days, 3 days. Same is true on the downside. It's 5 days, 3 days, 4 days. And to verify this, just it's so easy. Don't believe my words. Just open any chart and see, verify this yourself. How many days in a row you get? This is 2 days. This is again 3 days, and then a green day. So I know this behavior, and this is true in all frames. अगर यही चीज you can verify even on a 60-minute chart also, or a 15-minute chart, or a
Yeah.
whatever frame that you like. You check this, and this is true on every frame. So because I know this fact, when I saw Paytm, I saw that Paytm was down for 7 bars in a row, 8 days in a row. Now, because I know that the average is 3 to 5 days or 4 to 5 days, this is way beyond the average. जैसे अभी मैंने बताया that swing trading की average is 20-25%. Anything outside is beyond average and not likely to sustain. Similarly, and this number of days down in a row is 7. It is unlikely to carry on without giving a reversal in between. तो ये idea था why I selected Paytm for the next day. I'm only selecting it. I'm not buying it. Ab, this is 13th, and I'll have to open intraday chart for this, which is I don't know. इतना पुराना दिखेगा इसमें. हाँ ठीक है. No, wait 1 second. This 14th. Yeah, so 13th and closing was this. This is how the stock closed. Let me remove the volume bar for the clarity. This is how the stock closed on daily. The daily chart you've already seen. Now, when I'm taking a reversal, I'm usually looking at a smaller frame just so that I can enter early, and then I go back to the daily frame to just continue the trade. I'm using only this smaller frame just to enter the trade only for reversals. So up this is how on the 13th Jan Eve, when I had already selected the stock, this is how the stock looked. Up this is how the opening was. Now let me invert this chart, and
Yes.
you tell me, when you see this, what do you do when you buy the stock here and you get a climax bar like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do?
We sell it. If we have a position,
You close your trade, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the climax action. So if you sell it here, if you already long, मैं वापस इसका original कर दूं, so technically I should should I not buy this stock?
Buy it, yes.
Now, some will say that you should wait for a confirmation, which is probably a great green bar and crossing the day high. Something like this. Is
Yeah.
high cross, so then you buy it. And they are not wrong. They are not wrong. You can wait for confirmations, but every confirmation has a price. The price here is it will be expensive by
50
from 1005 it will be 21 some 15 16 points.
Yeah.
Okay, but why this high? Because this is what you have read and learned all this while. Ki there should be a green bar and there should be a high to be crossed. This is what you have learned. But I just ask you a question. If this is the climax bar, what do you do? If you are already long, you answered that you close the trade, you
Yeah.
sell it. So ये भी तो confirmation ही है ना? The climax bar itself is a confirmation.
Yes.
So if I want to be early and make more money, extra money, so you have a choice. You wait for second confirmation. Fine, great, do it. I am happy with this one confirmation alone. And this was my reason. You can go on this date, 14 Jan 2022 on my account. I bought it at 1005 or 1002 something. And my stop was just random 1 or 2%. अब इसमें कोई साइंस नहीं थी कि 1% तो कोई सपोर्ट ही नहीं है, कुछ नहीं. 1% was my budget. I'm happy risking that much money. It could be there could have been a possibility where it would have hit my stop and give me a loss. I'm fine with it. But on the other flip side, if it works, I will make more money than you guys will make. People who are entering on the high of that line, this red line.
Yes.
So what happened? I just entered that market with 1 or 2% stop. I don't remember. You can check it on my account. And then the trade reversed like this. And just the same day itself, this was, if you want to see the R potential, this R potential is it's 14 times already intraday. Just intraday is 14 times. And I think I sold 50-60% in the same day and I was holding it. The next day, I closed the position next day and I think I made around 7-8 on an average on the whole trade. I was selling at every level. So yeah, I made some 7-8 times on and over from this trade using this reversal method. Recently, most recent is this Amber trade also. Again, same logic. The stock was down 4 days in a row. And if you include this green line, it was down in the last 9 days, it is down 37%. And out of 9 days, 8 days are massive red. Massive red.
Yeah.
All right, not small red, massive red. So this was a perfect candidate for me to consider. And look at this. ये क्या है? ये strong start नहीं है?
Yes.
It's a clear strong start. And within 2 minutes of opening or 3 minutes of opening, after seeing this behavior, a strong start where there is a gap up opening and open and low are almost the same, you enter that market. If you entered, let's say at 2480 with a stop little below the low of the day, what is the R potential here? It is 2700, around 280 points, and the stop is only not even 40 points, around 7-8 times your risk in just intraday. I mean, on the same day you made 7 to 8 times from of how much whatever you risked. So this is the reversal method, but this method pays a lot when there is an extreme sell-off going on, because you will not find candidates like this in a bullish market. You will only find when everything is cracking down. So when markets go down, there is an excitement in me that, oh yeah, now it will be time to find a lot of reversal trades. And in my experience, reversal trades, basically these are falling knives, which a lot of people stay away from, because again, this is
Yeah.
what you've read in the book, that don't buy knives. But because the like newcomers don't buy it, this is what makes these trades less crowded. मतलब वही weak hands इसमें नहीं है, क्योंकि they're reading the books and this is what they have been brainwashed, that don't buy falling knives. So because these guys are not in the trade, so weak hands are not in the trade, so which is why whenever the stock zooms, it faces less hurdles in going up.
True.
And another advantage is order भी fill easily हो जाता है. जो
Yes, main
you said that because everyone is selling and no one's really interested in buying this stock because it's a falling knife. So your order, it's no one. I mean, there is a less rush compared to other trades like BSC and all that. So इसमें order fill भी easily हो जाता है. And the third advantage is usually the result is intraday itself. Rarely it goes to the next day, or maybe I'm not seeing my average holding of reversal is just 1 day. Usually it's the by the day end, it is either a hit or it is it is a flop or a very good hit, or if anything in between, I usually close it. So this is how I follow. Abhi in last 3-4 months, we've got many reversal trades. One is this Amber, and Abhi recently. Do you remember any? I'm forgetting the names. I will have to check. Yeah, Tata Steel. अब ये भी देख लो, Tata Steel is similar. It's down magnitude. It's not like Amber, but if you see the magnitude, it's 23% down in so many in just few days, with a very big red days. अब इतना सा move, it has reversed, not as strong as Amber, but I recently tweeted that this much move is also can be 7-8 times your risk. I bought it at 830 with a stop of 825. I still hold it. I'm still holding it. It's 880, 50 times. It's 50 points up, and I bought it with 5 point stop. So 10 hour from just this much.
Yes.
So if you don't include reversals in your trading system, you will be out of business in a market like this. क्योंकि अभी इस market में there are no BSC, there are no Mirza, there are hardly few setups. और अगर हैं setups, हाँ, और अगर अभी हैं भी वो setup, तो उसको सब कोई देख रहे हैं. You are also watching it. I'm also watching it. There are other people also watching it.
Yes.
So everybody will place bid on them. And if everyone's placing bid on them, not everyone is going to get it. And then there'll be weak hands also involved in it. And every time it goes up, there'll be some selling. So reversals are very important when markets are not really, when the options are very less. So without this, you'll be out of business. Either you don't trade at all, which is also fine. Some people should do that if their continuations are very good and they've made a lot of money on that side. Then use this period just to stay out. But if you want to have another weapon, practice reversals, and then you will be able to find trades in every kind of market, good, bad, every market. Because right now markets are really bad, but for me, I can find reversals in this bad market. So it's working fine.
True, you are killing it with this reversal trade in this kind of market. You are actually making money in longs in this kind of market. So that is like, if someone have any question about falling knife, you have already answered them all by making by taking this kind of trade. You have enough trades on your timeline and you are doing pretty good with those reversal trade. तो अगर कोई बोल रहा है कि फॉलिंग नाइफ है, ये वो है, लाइक ऑलरेडी वो आंसर हो चुका है कि फॉलिंग नाइफ से भी आप पैसा बना रहे हैं, और वो भी ऐसे मार्केट में लॉन्ग में.
मुझे कंटिन्यूएशन सेटअप पे कोई क्वेश्चंस नहीं करते हैं. जब भी मैं कोई फॉलिंग नाइफ का, यार फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने अभी LICI आई थिंक लिया था यहाँ पर कहीं, ऐसे दिनों में मुझे जरूर ट्वीट आता है किसी ना किसी का कि ये क्या बकवास कर रहे हो, दैट you
यस
can do better and all that.
यस यस।
But if doing better is the is the suggestion, then I am making more money than I was because of these reversal tricks, which many are not taking because calling knife hai, dur raho, and all that.
आई थिंक बिकॉज ऑफ द माइंडसेट, जैसे आपने बोला है कि बुक्स में यही सिखाया गया है और यही बोला गया है
Hmm.
कि भाई ये सपोर्ट से नीचे ब्रेक होगा, ये नया सपोर्ट क्रिएट करे तब तक उसकी वेट करो, वो उसके पाइवट के ऊपर या लाइन के ऊपर बाई करो। दैट इज इन
Hmm.
बुक्स एंड सब लोग वही फॉलो कर रहे हैं। लाइक एक्चुअली अपने स्टडी से, अपने ऑब्जर्वेशन से भी आप कोई सेटअप अपने आप देख के वो ट्रेड कर सकते हो। वो प्रिपेयर नहीं है, वो माइंडसेट से वो प्रिपेयर नहीं है कि आप मुंह देख के भी आप
You
ट्रेड
have
कर सकते
to exactly. You have to keep evolving yourself, get better at what you were doing, और एंड में अपनी ही पर्सनालिटी, आई लाइक दिस सेटअप, आई माय पर्सनालिटी इज, आई एम अ स्विंग पर्सन, मैं ज्यादा
हो।
पोजीशन देर तक नहीं रख सकता। मुझे इसका एडवांटेज ये भी है कि ड्रॉडाउन्स भी कम होते हैं, एक एक दो दो महीने तक पोजीशन नहीं लेना पड़ता, और जब क्रैश आता है तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम यू आर नॉट इन द इन्वॉल्व इन दैट क्रैश, छोटा मोटा हिट लिया और यू आर आउट, but it keeps my mind stable, and I'm very happy also कि ज्यादा drawdowns नहीं है, and I know that the time will come back and I'll make, if my drawdowns are limited, I can return and bounce back very easily if my drawdown is very small. लोगों के drawdowns ही 30 40 50% हो जाते हैं, फिर
यस
उसको recover करने के लिए they have to, the stock has to go up a lot just to break even, वो होता नहीं। So time is money. If you have a small account with a limited, I mean, if you have limited money and obviously time is also limited, if you need to grow your small account fast, this is one way. And yeah, so the
लाइक
in
देयर
short,
इज वन ट्वीट, आपका एक ट्वीट है जहां पे आपने बताया कि 500% का मूव भी आपका अकाउंट उस तरीके से ग्रो नहीं कर पाएगा, बिकॉज आई नो।
आज ही शायद retweet
यस,
किया था
आपने भी
that
रिट्वीट किया। यस यस यस।
it's all about allocation. ये game
यस
सारी
यस
allocation की है।
यस
Uh, ये
यस
people go for multi-baggers and there's nothing wrong with it, go for it, but multi-bagger will change your life only if you had a significant allocation in it. अगर आपने उसमें अपने पोर्टफोलियो का 2% ही डाला और वो मल्टी बैगर हो गया तो it's not going to change your life. If you had a 50% allocation and then turned into a multi bagger, yes, it will change your life. But what is the probability of finding a multi bagger out of so many? You'll have to sit on it for many months, many probably years also. और फिर 50% एलोकेशन करना और ड्रॉडाउन जब आएंगे, क्योंकि कोई भी स्टॉक 500%
ट्रू।
एक
यस
लेग में तो होगा नहीं, इट विल गो डाउन ऑल्सो। तो उस डाउन पीरियड में अगर आपका 50% उसमें लगा हुआ है तो आधे लोग वैसे ही नर्वस हो जाते हैं दैट और लॉट ऑफ मनी इज गोइंग डाउन। सो द अदर वे इज, if you have bigger allocation and if you aim for only 20-25% moves, which are more often also, the probability of finding a 20% move is more than finding a 500% move in 2-3 years. तो अगर आप स्विंग को भी ढंग से खेलो और अपनी एलोकेशन बढ़ाओ without risking your portfolio too much, you still have a chance to make good money as much as what multi-baggers give you in years.
मनोज भाई, आपके हिसाब से लाइक लाइक देयर आर enough material available on internet and still people are losing money, so can you like rectify why they are still losing money?
Because they don't have risk management in place. We all enter this market thinking paisa kaise banega. I also entered like this, and we all are human, we think the same way, but the game changes when you look down. Change your approach, look down. Mark Minervini ki first book, Trade Like a Stock Market Wizard, go to chapter 12 and 13 जो सिर्फ risk management के ऊपर है। book don't start with first chapter, second chapter, straight away go to that 12th and 13th chapter and and read about risk management. Very beautifully explained कि risk होता क्या है, when you, and then you will realize the importance of risk management, which is what I also learned the risk management from there. And now I know that I'm managing risk. Basically what I'm doing is when I take a trade, मुझे रिस्क पता है मैं कितना उठा रहा हूँ और मुझे पता है मैं 100 ट्रेड्स लूंगा, उसमें से 60-70 नहीं चलेंगी, वो मैंने ऑलरेडी फैक्टर इन कर लिया है। बट 30-40 जब चलती हैं तो मैंने अभी दिखाया 10 टाइम्स, 15 टाइम्स, 20 टाइम्स, एट टाइम बीएससी वाज 100 टाइम्स,
यस
1:100। कभी मैंने तो नहीं बुक में पढ़ा 1:100 पहले, जो इनिशियल बुक्स हमने पढ़ी थी कि 1:100 भी हो सकता है वो भी। अच्छा, 1:100 करने में मुझे कोई 10 years नहीं लगे, वन
ट्रू
इज टू हंड्रेड वॉज ओनली 2 months, नॉट इवन, आई थिंक नॉट इवन 2 months। तो अगर 1:100 2 months में हो सकता है, तो इमेजिन हाउ फास्ट यू कैन ग्रो अ स्मॉल अकाउंट। 1:100 सारी ट्रेड्स में नहीं होगा, लेट्स से 1:10 का ही एवरेज पकड़ो तो you can grow faster. So before you reach that, you, like I said, survive the phase where you understand what risk is, manage that risk, learn from there. हम लोग सारे के सारे चार्ट्स में घुसे रहते हैं, बट चार्ट एक 10-15% गेम है जो मैं किसी को भी सिखा सकता हूँ और किसी को भी यूट्यूब से भी आ सकता है, बट एग्जीक्यूशन, managing the trade is something that you will learn with only after you take trades. उसको कोई भी नहीं आपको सिखा सकता। और to get the real learnings and survive that whole phase, just stay small, don't take big trades, क्योंकि पैसे तो आने ही नहीं वाले फर्स्ट लर्निंग फेज में। 100% जाएंगे, मैं आपको गारंटी दे रहा हूँ,
ट्रू
आप बड़ी
ट्रू
ट्रिक्स लोगे 100% जाएंगे। वो फेज को सर्वाइव करने के लिए सिर्फ समझो that your first 1 year is only a testing period. After that you will have a lot of clarity, whatever I'm saying today will connect with you, and then पूरी लाइफ पढ़िए to recover the hard work of whatever investment you're doing in the first 1 year.
मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन था जो कि आपने ऑलरेडी आंसर कर दिया है कि हाउ टू ग्रो स्मॉल अकाउंट। मैं मे बी इंटरव्यू में आपने ऑलरेडी बता भी दिया था जब आप ट्रेड एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे, सो आई विल नॉट रिपीट दैट। लाइक आपने एक बात की बीएससी ट्रेड की, तो आपके एक बीएससी की ट्रेड में जब मैंने, क्योंकि मैं तो आपके ट्रेड हमेशा रीड करता रहता हूँ, जो मैंने एक डिफरेंस देखा, दैट ट्रेड यू अलाउ दैट ट्रेड टू गो 100 लाइक नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि लाइक आपका ट्रेड जा रहा है 100 तक, लेकिन हम वो ट्राई ही नहीं, लाइक वी आर नॉट अलाउिंग दैट ट्रेड टू गो टू लाइक 15 और 20 दैट इज देयर। एंड व्हेन पीपल आस्क यू अबाउट दैट, आपने बताया था कि कंप्लीटली डिटैच योरसेल्फ फ्रॉम मनी। सो वो कैसे कर सकते हैं? अगर कोई टिप, बिकॉज मुझे पता है इसका कोई प्लेन वेनिला आंसर नहीं होगा, लेकिन इफ यू कैन शेयर एनी टिप रिगार्डिंग दैट।
To completely detach yourself from money,
यस
you have to have another source of income. Agar if this is your only source of income, which mostly people want, which is
Yes.
great, but initial years mein, if this is your only source of income, then it is impossible to detach yourself from money, because every month you need money to pay your bills.
ट्रू
तो वो डिटैचमेंट कितना भी बोलो, मैं कितना भी टिप्स दे लूं, वो होगा ही नहीं, और मुझसे भी नहीं होगा, बिकॉज एवरी मंथ आई आल्सो हैव टू रन माय हाउस। सो if you really need to detach yourself and only bat well, क्रिकेट में बोलते हैं ना bat well, don't look at the score and all that, scoreboard, तो वो कैसे होगा? when you only focusing on the process, when you are outside, आपने अपने आउटसाइड एनवायरनमेंट एकदम सेट कर रखा है, you have money to pay your bills, you're not dependent on stocks for your trading and for your living. You can depend on it, but the initial years में जो भी करने जाता है वो 10 में से basically just making it 10 times difficult for yourself. Once you're very successful at after first few years, then make it full time. और मैं आपको ऑनेस्टली बताऊं, जब आप सक्सेसफुल हो ही जाते हो, तब तक आपके ऑलरेडी इतने इनकम सोर्स हो चुके होते हैं कि तब भी आप ट्रेडिंग पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहोगे। On my trading, I also struggled a lot when I was only dependent on this. Then I had to hustle and find ways to at least find this much money that I can run my house and not depend on it. फिर धीरे धीरे करते करते things started working out better, और this is how it is going. So to detach yourself, you have to find money, you have to have a source, और फिर उसके बाद just focus on taking trades, good trades, and follow good process. उसके बाद money is a result of that process.
Yes.
If the process is not followed, the money will obviously will not be as much as you expect it to be.
लाइक लास्ट एक ये क्वेश्चन, लाइक कंटिन्यूएशन में आपने भी देखा होगा, मैंने भी बहुत बार फेस किया, ये फील नहीं होती क्वांटिटी, जैसे आपने एक इसमें बताया कि रिवर्सल में तो क्वांटिटी फील हो जाती है कंटिन्यूएशन में। एंड लाइक अभी सब लोग इस पे शिफ्ट हो रहे हैं, पहले तो इतने नहीं थे। बिकॉज ऑफ यू वी ऑल स्टार्टेड लाइक देयर इज होल कम्युनिटी, बिकॉज ऑफ यू वी स्टार्टेड ऑल ट्रेडिंग लाइक 1% स्टॉप लॉस से ट्रेड कर रहे हैं। तो मुझे भी बहुत बार ये
हम्म,
पूछा जाता है, और मैं ये क्वेश्चन आपको पास ऑन करूंगा कि क्या ये सिस्टम हमेशा वर्क करती रहेगी? बिकॉज लाइक मार्क विनर की वीसीपी है, वो काम करे, लेकिन मुझे ये पूछा जाता है कि भाई ये 1% स्टॉप लॉस से ट्रेड करना क्या है, ये हमेशा चलता रहेगा, या यहाँ पे भी कुछ सबको पता चल जाएगा तो ये सिस्टम सडनली कलेप्स हो जाएगी, ये नहीं काम करेगी? इसके बारे में अगर आप कुछ समझा सके तो।
देखो अभी when markets are down and setups are limited, continuation setups are limited, I understand इस time पर everyone's tracking the same stock, there'll be difficulty in all that. But when markets are bullish, go back to 2020, every day there was a breakout and 5% 10% names were so common. तो उसमें भी let's say we all are buying the same stock. How many of you are going to stay in in the entire move? How many stayed in BSE till 100 hour?
ट्रू।
मैंने लिया, कितने लोगों ने 100 आवर तक बैठा, या कितने लोग 50 तक भी बैठे? हम ले इकट्ठे लेंगे, लेकिन हमारी पर्सनालिटीज अलग है. योर पर्सनालिटी इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम माई पर्सनालिटी, योर नीड्स आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम माई नीड्स. मे बी आई डोंट वांट दिस मनी, आई एम जस्ट आई एम टू इन अ जोन वेयर आया आया ठीक है, नहीं आया कोई बात नहीं, बट समवन मे बी नीड्स दिस मनी फ्रॉम द ट्रेड, तो वो हर एक प्राइस एक्शन को वॉच कर रहा है. वो जरा सा नीचे आता है तो घबरा जाता है और सेल कर देता है. सो इवन इफ यू एंटर द सेम स्टॉक, we all do, we all will not have the same result. Wherever you can close at some other price, I can close at some other price. And then reversals, if the markets are bad, like what we were seeing in the last 1 month, so reversal candidates itne liquidity hai. uh, you tell me, did you find any order filling issues in the last in all your reversal trades in the last 1 month?
नो नो।
This is a mindset, this thought is again far fetched कि आगे जाके क्या होगा. Again I can tell you with my experience, when you reach the stage where your order is not getting filled, वो कब आएगा? When you have a lot of money.
यस यस।
So when you have a lot of money, I can tell you, you will have experience of trading also, you will find creative ways to find new trade. For example, I'll tell you a creative way. I taught you all how to find tight stop, take trades with small stops. Did I ever teach you going short on Nifty
नो
or shorting options, buying put or buying calls and all that?
नो नो नो।
I explained the concept. So you used your creative thinking and you got into Nifty. अब मुझे ये बता दो, कितने लोग बोलेंगे कि सारे निफ्टी करेंगे तो निफ्टी में ट्रेड नहीं चलेगा? निफ्टी is so liquid, Nifty is so liquid. Adi Twitter community is doing option writing and all that. So वो stage जब आएगी, whenever you feel that your money, the setup, your order is not getting filled, I can tell you that you will be someone with a lot of trading experience, and your creativity and if your concepts are really good, obviously तभी you will reach that stage.
Exactly.
When your concepts are really good, your creativity will kick in and you will find different ways to make money.
So that's I
Nobody
can
taught
say
me these.
फीलिंग ना मिलने का इश्यू अगर हुआ, दैट इज अ गुड प्रॉब्लम टू हैव, वी कैन से दैट, लाइक वो प्रॉब्लम अगर हुआ तो दैट इज अ गुड प्रॉब्लम की फीलिंग के पास
ऑब्वियसली
है।
आपके पास अच्छा पैसा आ गया तभी
यस
तो वो ट्रेड
यस
ट्रेड फिल नहीं हो रहा है ना. और अच्छा पैसा आ गया मतलब अच्छी ट्रेडिंग करी है ऑल दीज इयर्स.
यस।
अच्छी ट्रेडिंग करी है ऑल दीज इयर्स का मतलब है अब आपको आता है ट्रेड करना, कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर है, देन you will find different ways. I was trading something else in a very different way in 2016. आज 2022 है. I've never had a mentor. I wish होता, अगर मैंने जब स्टार्ट किया होता मेरा लर्निंग का काफी कम होता, बट बिकॉज कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर है और ऑब्जर्वेशन है ऑन, तो इवॉल्व होते रहते हैं ना. हो सकता है 2028 में कुछ और हो रहा होगा, बट कॉन्सेप्ट तो 16 में भी यही था, बाय अप ट्रेंडिंग स्टॉक्स एंड देन व्हेन दे गो टाइट ऑन अ वीकली फ्रेम, व्हेन दे गो टाइट यू बाय देम. आज उसको छोटा फ्रेम कर दिया.
So, okay, one last question, Manas bhai, which I ask in all my to all my guests. Like ऑलरेडी आपसे बहुत सीखे, आपने बहुत सारे एडवाइस दी, फॉलो करके यहाँ तक पहुंचे, लेकिन एक एडवाइस जो आपने कहीं से रिसीव किया, मे बी कोई बुक से, और एक एडवाइस जो आप मुझे और मेरे व्यूवर्स को, इन दिस केस नॉर्मली मैं व्यूवर्स को बताऊं, लेकिन आई एम
स्टूडेंट ऑफ योर्स, एंड मैं हमेशा वो बन के आपसे सीखना चाहूंगा, और इसीलिए मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि आपसे एक और एडवाइस, अगर कोई एडवाइस लेनी हो तो आपने कभी से रिसीव की हो, और एक एडवाइस जो आप देना चाहते हो।
See, if you are a new person, have a like timeline. ये पूरी गेम आपको 1-2 महीने में नहीं आने वाली है. यूजुअली पूरी साइकिल लगती है, वेयर फॉर एग्जांपल पीपल हु एंटर्ड इन 2020 कोविड, सबके पास टाइम था, काफी लोग आए, सबको लगा बहुत इजी है बिकॉज एवरी स्टॉक वाज गोइंग अप. बुलिश मार्केट क्या होती है, गलतियां माफ करती है. इट इज अ वेरी फॉरगिविंग मार्केट. आप स्टॉप लॉस नहीं लगाओ, कोई बात नहीं, 3-4 दिन स्टॉक नीचे जाएगा, उसके बाद वापस ऊपर आया और हमने देखा कितना ऊपर आया, सबने अच्छे पैसे कमाए. 6 महीने लगे 2022 में, सारे पैसे चले गए. Stocks are below the 2020 level, so it's a full cycle. So when I say full cycle, is matlab where you enjoy bull market, then you go through a bear market where you have to keep the money जो आपने बुल मार्केट में कमाया. अब जिसने वो पैसा बचा लिया, he is way ahead than people who lost everything and gave more also. ये जो लोग बोलते बैठे रहेंगे देखा जाएगा, वो ट्रेडर है ही नहीं, वो तो बेसिकली बस होप कर रहे हैं. So my tip here is that it usually takes a whole cycle to understand the market. You can shorten your learning curve by learning from someone who is doing it really well, and when you are learning from him, then you just surrender. When I say surrender, I mean फिर मान लो जो वो बोल रहा है, क्योंकि he has the experience, he cannot prove the experience. ये एक आर्ट है, वो प्रूव करने के लिए क्या दिखाएगा आपको, वो सिर्फ बता सकता है ये होगा और ये प्रोबेबिलिटी है होने की, because this is a game of probability. So the whole, if you do not want to go through the whole cycle, which usually it takes 4-5 years, क्योंकि 3-4 साल बुल रन चलता है, फिर 1-1.5 साल क्रैश आता है, वो 4-5 साल अगर बचाने हैं तो have someone who can really guide you, and then you just have that one person to guide you, and then completely surrender to him and give yourself at least 1 year to understand this game. This is not going to happen overnight. पैसे नहीं बनेंगे overnight. बनाने जाओगे तो 100% लॉस होगा. 1 year के बाद you will be a different person, and even you can answer this thing. Whenever you started, after taking a proper guidance, exactly after 1 year, were you a better trader or no?
Yes,
You had a better concept, understanding of those concepts.
yes, better
So
mindset.
mindset. So once you have that mindset, you have full life to extract money from market, to make money. And yes, so this is my tip here is that give time to it. Nothing is going to happen overnight, and if you can have somebody or follow a book or read a book, then just surrender to that method, and don't question that this method will work or not, because I know you will have that curiosity, like you asked me, what will it work in if everyone gets into it. You अगर वो डाउट करते करते आगे चलोगे तो फिर शायद वो you might just dump the whole the system midway, and you might not even reach that end stage. So yeah.
That's it, Manas bhai, and I'll like thanks again, and I'm thanking you from my side. And there is one community as well who are trading with 1% stop loss and this tightness and this reversal, and I'm thanking you from that community as well, and we highly like rate you. And so thanks a lot for all your learnings, and again for your time, and again like which you have because I know how you trade, and you have already said it what you shown in bootcamp as well, so people can easily, if they are smart enough, they can easily pick it up from here, and they can learn a thing or two and do well in trading.
I just want to add one line here. Like you asked me for a tip. Like so many people have bought Mark Vinny's book, and many have bought my bootcamp also. I know, and even he knows that. Like many years back, I messaged Mark Vinny and said that all credit goes to you because I learned a lot from him. And he replied that many people buy a book, but not everyone becomes a trader because not everyone puts in the same effort. And I saw the same thing when so many people attended bootcamp. only 10-15% finished the whole camp, even after paying a lot of money for it.
True,
They
true.
don't even finish it. So book लेने से या video लेने से या कोई course करने से you will not become a trader, a good trader. It is you, your effort, lots of effort. I would say it's not an easy job, but once you become good at it, it is such an easy job that you don't need a boss, you don't need an office, you don't need you can trade from anywhere. All you need is a good market environment and your strategies, knowing which strategy will work in which market, then it becomes very easy. तो effort लगेगा, बुक लेने से या वीडियो लेने से या कोर्स अटेंड करने से नहीं बनने वाला कुछ भी. और अगर इस माइंडसेट से अटेंड कर रहे हो कि 1-2 महीने में कुछ हो जाएगा, नहीं होना, अटेंड भी मत करना. यू आर वेस्टिंग योर मनी. वो आई डोंट वांट यू टू डू दैट. So give yourself time, and only then you will start seeing results. And thank you for this meeting.
Thank you, Manas bhai. Thank you. Okay.
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 Okay. Bye.